Push More Academy. Hope everybody's doing well. I know I've been a little disconnected, but I'm working on a lot of things behind the scenes, conducting classes, recording videos to be able to upload, editing. I've got a lot going on right now. I promise you a ton of attention is about to be given here into the community, but I had a little repair right here. I've got a big boy in house right now. Got a big truck here in the house right now, and we've got some damage here right at the end of the fender. So this comes from a really locally well-known wrap company, and in their process of doing R&I, they're constantly causing little dents and dings. So we're cleaning that up for them. Let me switch this camera around real quick. All right, we can see where they took off the F250 emblem here. We can see these dings right up here. Now the problem is with these, they're super sharp at the bottom, and they really do cause paint defects at the bottom. So you can see just how sharp that is and the depth. So after we push these, I will be doing a little bit of polishing, a little bit of sanding and a little bit of polishing, just to level down the edges of those defects, not to get rid of everything completely. You don't want to get too aggressive. There's not a whole lot of paint protecting this metal, so you want to be very careful how much you sand and polish. But we are going to round the edges. If we could zoom in at the microscopic level and see what sanding's actually doing, it's rounding the edges of imperfections in the clear coat, and it just makes it a little bit more subtle the way the eye receives that information. The light bounces off of the surface, that data gets sent to the eye, and if we can round off those little edges a little bit, the eye is less likely to see those, or those imperfections catch the eye. So that's what we're going to do at the end. But what I wanted to do is I'm going to turn this camera around and I'm going to record me pushing the damage. And something that I want you to take note of is how I keep my tooltip moving. In the next principle in the push technique, you're going to hear me talking about pattern. So here's a good little demo moving forward about what pattern is. Pattern is the intentionality of where we're going to be moving our tooltip. Our pattern is going to develop, it is going to, and forgive me, I've got crazy allergies right now, it's beating me up. So, but our tooltip pattern is going to closely resemble and honor the shape of the defect. So these little bitty micro creases that are in there, I'm gonna like sew them up. I'm gonna start at one side, I'm gonna slowly walk that tooltip right through that crease. No matter the change of the metal, I do not want to push with the mentality of needing to see metal move. I'm gonna play the precision game. I'm gonna pick a target, hit the target, come out of the push, pick the next target, next target, next target. I want to focus, as we go down the list of principles, I want to focus primarily on precision first, flex and rhythm. That list is very intentional. I want to keep that tooltip moving. That alone is going to let the science of the metal fix, move, be clean. It's going to start resolving. It's going to allow us to genuinely guide the metal back freely if we honor the science of the metal. So as you watch this, and I'm gonna record it, but I'm gonna do a little sped up video of the pushes. Just take note to where my tooltip is going. And I don't stay on one feature for very long. I'm gonna keep the tooltip moving. I don't get fixated on one feature for too long. I wanna play the precision game, pick a target, pick a target, pick a target, get some points along the way. Hey, rack up some points, play precision game, don't force. We're gonna flex, we're gonna be patient. Rhythm is our best friend. Metal loves rhythm. It loves us introducing our own energy. Whether we're pushing, knocking down, glue pulling, blending, metal loves energy. It will move with energy. The damage happened from the very beginning because energy, there was a one-time event of energy transfer, and so metal loves energy. Let's bring our own energy. Let's meet energy with energy, okay? So take note that I'm gonna keep moving my tooltip. I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna be thinking big picture, okay? I'm not gonna stay fixated on one feature. I'm gonna keep that tooltip moving so I can rebuild this structure and recreate stability, okay? So The next principle that I have coming up is going to be pattern, and it is going to show, actually I think I'm going to do a combination of principle 3 and 4, pattern and passes, in one lesson. That's how it's looking so far as I record it. But let's really focus on pattern right now. Now you will notice me making multiple passes. That's going to keep us even more patient. But take note to the pattern of me keeping my tooltip moving. And I don't stay on one dent. I don't stay on one feature. I don't want to stay on one dent. I want to rebuild the entirety of that area. These dents are not on their own individual island. They all impact each other. So improvement on one is going to impact the next. There's a constant tug of war in the metal at all times. So for one thing to move, something else is being affected, whether we account for it or not, which is also why it's very important that we cross-check minor and major. Minor cross-checking is just moving our body. That slight perspective change will do wonders for you catching features developing early. But then every once in a while you do want a major cross-check, grab that light and change up position to a little more aggressive angle. Woo, these allergies are kicking my butt, man. Poor guys in class today, they muscled through today's class with me, okay? We got Christian in from Switzerland. We got Jesus in from Puerto Rico. And we have my buddy Lee, who is a Dallas-Fort Worth local, who is also a shop shop owner and operator, who's up in his game and becoming a better, not just operator as a business, but he's going to start pushing to keep that wheel turning. So the 3 guys that are in the shop this week, super solid guys. Hopefully they'll be able to see this post and weigh in, and they'll let you guys know that although this is kicking my butt, man, I promise you I'm trying to hang in there and bring as much of an A game as possible, but I can't breathe. All right, so I'm gonna go in there, okay? I've already got a game plan. Check this out, okay? If mechanics do it, Dent guys should be doing it too. Protect your panels if you're going to, because this is a tall vehicle and I'm gonna have to use a step stool to get up there to get that downward. Let me see if I can do this like a weatherman. Here we go. Opposite hand, opposite downward angle. Okay, to get that downward angle, I'm gonna have to get up on the step stool and I'm gonna be leaning on this paint. I wanna protect this paint as much as possible. Now, all of you know, I like to have me a fanny pack, so we're gonna take this fanny pack, we're gonna flip it around, okay? I don't want anything sharp, plastics, anything that's gonna cause any imperfections in this paint. So get yourself a good fender cover, okay? Get one that's got a weighted lip on the front of it. That way it hangs over, because this is an aluminum panel. So these are not gonna be sticking to this panel. So the weightedness of them is gonna help make sure that this stays on here. But protect your panels where you need to. You can put tape on panels. You can put blankets, packing blankets, towels, whatever you need to put on panels to protect them from you. Protect these panels from you. You'll be causing damage left and right if you don't. So I'm gonna get up tall. Okay, now because of where this dent is located, or these dents, let me flip the camera. Okay, because of where these are located, I do have, after looking through here, let me always grab yourself an inspection light, okay? As you look down in there, you'll see that it's wide open, but that little foam insert back there, that sound barrier, that weather barrier insert back there has foam. See the foam around the edges? It's adhered in there. It's not just in there that I can reach in there, grab it and pull it out. They actually have flexible foam that's holding that thing in there. So I do have straight access to these first few dents right in here. I have straight access. So I'm gonna go in with my pick. Okay, this is from Ultra, okay? No, it wasn't designed like that. Yes, I did drop it from the top of a very tall van and it fell right on the tip and bent it. No, it's not supposed to be like that, but it's actually worked out pretty well. Look, it went straight up, so pretty cool. But I'm using this tip, or this tool, okay? That way I can get a straight shot. Let me see if I can go wide angle for just a second here. There we go. That way I can go straight shot, okay? I'm gonna go behind this. I'm gonna reach behind the strut, okay? If you're gonna make contact with anything that's painted, okay, like the hinge, the strut. If you're concerned about making leverage, putting leverage on anything that's going to damage it, put some tape on there and protect that finish, okay? But I'm going to be reaching straight down in there, okay? Straight down into this gap, okay? It's going to look just like this. I'm going to have my tip pointing directly out towards the damage, okay? I'm going to roll it forward and push on those first few little imperfections with this. Not a super sharp tip, but sharp enough, because aluminum is going to need a little bit of a sharper of a tip, not too blunt, okay? Really patient, but it's a straight shot. Now, because of that sound protection, because of that foam protection back there, the last portion of the dents, these back ones right in there, those I'm going to have to reach past that insert that's foam adhesive fixed inside of there. I'm going to use this is an extra wide whale tail from Dent Craft, extra wide. I believe this is the 34-inch. I'm going to be reaching around the top here through that foam insert. Okay, so it's going to reach in just like this, and I'm going to be twisting into it. Okay, so that's what we're going to do on those two. So I got a game plan. I'm not seeing a whole lot of pressure that needs to be dealt with. There's very, very subtle, but these aren't super hard impact dents. They were just more leaned into with somebody's hand and a R&I tool. So it wasn't a huge impact. This was more a leaning into. So there's not a lot of outward radiating energy that needs to get dealt with. So we just need to push these out. So I'm gonna set the camera up. So we got game plan, we've got setup, we're protecting, we've got tool selection, and just watch where my tooltip is going.
I want to try to keep as much clear coat and paint on the vehicle as possible. So this truck's getting wrapped. It's
getting wrapped so they're not even gonna see those paint defects. They just wanted the dents gone, so when they wrap it, we have a much flatter surface for that wrap to bond to adhere to. And if you have any kind of gaps, holes, dents, holes, if you have any, well, holes too, but if you have any dents or anything, then you're not gonna have a good surface. And especially depending on the color of the wrap, you'll definitely see dents through wrap. Wraps don't hide dents unless it's a crazy graphic design, crazy design on the wrap, but if it's just a flat matte color, you're gonna see those. So we want a good flat metal. I'm gonna sand and polish just a little bit to round off those edges so the eye doesn't catch that. But really, when we remove the light, that's what we're wanting for the customer. We just don't want that stuff to catch their eye anymore. We don't want those dents on there anymore. Hope this helped. I hope you enjoy doing that. I'm gonna wrap this thing up, send it out because it's gotta get wrapped. I'm gonna wrap it up so I can go get wrapped. All right, push more. Much coming, I promise you. It's in the works. Now, keep working hard. Keep being great.